All right, hello everyone. This is Jake Woodfin, your church planting missionary to San Francisco. And I want to first off just start off by saying thank you so much for your continual prayers and financial support. We could not be here and could not exist here in San Francisco without your continual prayers and support. So thank you so much. Well, I want to just give you guys an update over what's happening the last few months. So our family is doing good. We, as you guys know, last year, actually at the end of 2022, we had a baby girl, Ayla. So she just turned 1 in December. And so she's growing up fast. She's beautiful as ever and just energetic part of our family. And that is amazing. The boys are also growing up. They're in school. Haley's homeschooling them and they're just learning and soaking things in and just being wild and crazy boys like normal. And then Haley and I also in December, we celebrated our 12th wedding anniversary, which is crazy to think about that it's been that long. But man, God has blessed us over these years. And my parents were in town, so they got to watch our kids while we went off and had a couple days together for our anniversary. So thanks, Mom and Dad. Appreciate that. But it's been amazing. Our family's been growing and been good. And so God's been blessing there. However, our ministry has been a little bit difficult the last few months, to be honest. So what happened over the last few months of the year of 2023 is 1/3 of our church congregation moved out of the city, which is a big, massive loss. They moved for various reasons, some moving to help family in other places, some retiring and moving out of state, etc. No one left because they were mad or angry. They all left with tears in their eyes, which is a blessing, just to say goodbye in a good way. But it has been a hard and difficult time. All the people that left were core members of branches, and so they were serving in various ministries, and they were awesome. But it's kind of put a dent in our church for sure, just not only financially, but also just serving-wise. We went from about 35 people serving regularly at our church in different ministries to down to about 10 to 15 people serving now. And so that means there's just been a lot more work that has kind of gone undone or had to been taken over by other people or by me. And so that's still a big dent. And sometimes when we face those difficulties in ministry or in life, all of us, we're tempted to kind of like throw our hands up in the air and say, God, why me? Why can't you just let things happen good? But in those times, it's good to look around and kind of look at all the good things that God is still doing. Because God is still doing great things all around us. So here's some of those good things that God is doing. First, we got a new team member, a ministry team member that moved out to San Francisco named Patty Boyan. Patty spent several years as a missionary in New Zealand, and she was someone that Haley and I actually went to Bible college with. And she felt the Lord calling her to move out to San Francisco to help us in our church planting efforts here. And so she's been amazing help and a huge blessing. She's been able to serve and lead our children's ministries. She's been able to get into discipling other women. And then she's been a huge leader and help at our church. And we're so thankful that God chose her to send her our way. Another thing that happened is we've been having a lot of first-time guests at branches, which has been amazing just to see so many different people and faces come into our church that don't have church homes, that are looking for a church home. And so a lot of those people have decided to come in and get more and more grounded at branches. And so we're starting the process of growing new membership and training people for ministry and getting them involved in different ways. So that's been a huge blessing as well. And then also, we were awarded a matching grant. You remember last year we were awarded this same grant, and we got awarded again. There's an organization that gives financial grants to Bay Area church plants. And so we applied for it again this year, and we got it, which is if we raise $21,000, they will give us a matching grant of $21,000. And so that goes a long way, just helping our church financially and helping us be able to meet in our same location and helping us just to reach more people in San Francisco with the gospel as we put on outreaches and send out information about our church as well. And so that's been a huge blessing from God. And the next thing is, the last thing I want to share is the story of John and Jessica. And this is truly an incredible story. John and Jessica were people that were far from God, a younger married couple. But John started having this question that kind of came up in his heart, and he thought to himself that, man, there must be more to life than this. And as he started searching for what life was about truth, he started finding these podcasts by different pastors, And one day he's at his local gym, and one of our members was there, and our member was talking about the church, and he overheard him and decided to find out where our church was at and what we were doing. And so John decided, he told his wife, he's like, I'm going to church tomorrow, and I guess you could come with me. And she's like, yeah, I'll go with you. And even though they were far from God, even though Jessica especially wasn't really searching for God at the time, they came and showed up at our church. And through about the last 8 or 9 months, they were there asking question after question. And we were meeting with them and sharing with them the truth of the scriptures and telling them all about Jesus. And they didn't have very great biblical backgrounds. They didn't know a lot. And so all of these questions, they faithfully came every week. And through this time period, they started getting more and more into the Word, hearing more and more about Jesus. And then just a couple months ago, they accepted Jesus Christ as their Savior and were saved. And it was just an incredible, incredible moment. It was just such joy-filled. Jessica even talked about how before she had all these questions and all these doubts. When she chose to put her faith and trust in Jesus, she realized this is by faith, and she just trusted and had a peace in her heart because of it. And now I'm discipling them, and we are going to be baptizing them next month. It's just a beautiful, beautiful story of how God is still saving people here in San Francisco, California. And again, that's because you guys, because of your faithful prayers and your faithful support, that people are still coming to know Jesus, and the kingdom of heaven is still rejoicing at new people coming to faith. And so I also want to thank you guys for that. And there's times of life where we go through those difficult moments, and ministry is difficult, of course. And a lot of times, like I said, we're tempted just to say, God, why me? But when you start to stop for just a second, look around and see all the beautiful things that God is doing, then your tone starts to change. And instead of saying, why me? You start to think, why me? Why do I get to see these wonderful, beautiful things that God is doing? Why do I get to be part of God's plan of reaching these people? And it's an incredible, incredible blessing. So I love you guys. Thank you so much for your prayers. And we look forward to talking to you more in the future, and look forward to how God is going to continue to use us to reach people for His glory here in San Francisco. Love you guys. Bye.